control them, then we need to teach them what they need to know. And those are 4 areas of development, okay? Confidence, yielding, patterns, and purpose. If you have confidence in yielding, you can get any pattern or job, purpose is a job, done. If you can't get a pattern, like a dressage test is a pattern. If you can't get that done, it's because you don't have enough confidence in yielding. End of story. Okay? And so I worry less about the patterns and the purpose, more about the confidence and yielding. Because if I have that to the highest level, I can get any pattern or job done. Then it's just a matter of time. Okay? Versus to build up confidence and or get yielding, you might have to, that's where pressure can come in. And it's like putting more pressure versus more time can be tougher. Time, it's like, great. Man, if all I gotta do is be patient, time, whew, oh yeah, baby, that's wonderful. Okay, but when you gotta start putting on the pressure and putting some oomph behind it, that can be tough. Okay. So once we teach them what they need to know, confidence, yielding, patterns, and purpose, then we can start making a game out of it. Okay, that's that reinforce stage where we give them a good deal, and then we give them a not so good deal, and then we reset and start over until they're like, nah, I'll just take the good deal. It's good. Okay, and then we're constantly refining as we go along. So if I can kind of start with that awareness and then recognize that the horse has 5 body parts, nose, neck, shoulder, ribs, and hip, and I got to get all of those parts to stand still first, then go forward, then backwards, then right, then left, then up, then down, and finish with a standstill. That's everything they need to know. If they can yield in those directions, okay, and be confident about it, we're good to go. You can do anything you want. You just got to know how to put it in the right order. Okay? Because sometimes the nose needs to go to the right, while the neck is to the left, the shoulders to the left, the ribs is to the left, and then the hip is to the right. Let's get them shaped on a circle laterally. Okay? If we're not clear on what that looks like, we're not going to be able to get them on the circle. Okay? So with that kind of theory in there, nose, neck, shoulder, ribs, and hip, stand still first, then forwards, backwards, right, left, up, and down. Okay? Confidence, and then yielding. So with the flag, I want to start with some things like if I kind of get to work in this, see how we got our head down and relaxing? Like if that can initiate that, we're winning. Okay? And it might start with that you have to tap them on their nose until they kind of get this initial kind of reaction. And what happens after that is they, okay? So if I can get that little bit of a flinch, usually the next thing that follows is the head will go down. Okay, so that's kind of what we started with on the first day, just getting her where she could come in here, and I just kind of said, can I do this? And can you learn to do that? Okay, and that was pretty quick. Okay, and then it's like, okay, can we, I'll be all over. Again, that was pretty quick. Okay, and then we just start looking at, can I get you to go forward, nose first, then neck, then shoulder, then ribs, then hip. If I can get the front to the back working, then I can bring the back to the front. If I don't have yields working from nose to hip, it usually doesn't work in my experience to bring the hip to the nose. Okay? So, forward first. Nose, hi, neck, shoulder, ribs, hip. Good, that was forward. That's enough. And then when she quits going forward, technically that's backwards. So to get her to realize, like, that's all you had to do, she's like, we freaking love this. It's like, Ralph was in the Marines. Imagine, Ralph, if boot camp was, all right, everybody give me push-ups. Well, I said S, so it is plural, but you did 2, and they go, good job, you did push-ups. And that's it? Just 2?
Never was.
Never was that way. It was never that easy. Okay? But that really is how easy I'm looking at wanting this to be for her. Can you just go forward? Okay? What we got when she does that little bit is she doesn't disconnect. It's not run away to come back. It's just go forward. She never has to disconnect in that process. Okay? We can have that little bit start, and then it's like, can you get forward, and then could you hold forward? Okay. And so that's where we start building it up in little bits. But again, not get her to have to run away to come back. Just stay connected the whole time. Neck, nose, neck, shoulder, ribs, hip. Okay, we got the diagonal legs lining up. The three big ways that we see a lot of diagonal kind of harmony and synchronization is backing, lateral work, and trotting. Okay, where both diagonals are synchronized. There's a diagonal that stays linked in a canter, but it's only one out of the two diagonals. Okay? So the better we get a horse at backing, lateral work, and that's one of the reasons why trotting is a great training gait. One is because it doesn't tire them out. It's harder than walking, but not as tiring as cantering. So notice I'm pushing her out and around to bring her forward. Lateral, lateral, the inside to the outside, and then the outside comes in. Okay? So that's the beginnings of right set. Okay? And if she'll allow me to hold her like this, that's helpful, because then I can shape her and set her up to be able to realize how good it can feel to use her body appropriately. Okay, and then we would just, could we do a little more forwards? And then a little left. Give her a shot. It's okay. It's fine. You messed it up. That's not a bad thing. Just try again. You're good. Okay? So once we start with that, then I start going, can I keep the same down feel from a distance? Okay? Nose, neck, shoulder, ribs, but your nose didn't need to come in the air. Try again. Nose, neck, but feel my oomph here, my personal space. Like, you need to be a little more prepared to scooch over. A little more prepared to scooch over. And if she's not, then I just use the stick. There, she got a little more prepared. It's like somebody's trying to tell you where the dessert table is at the buffet, and you won't shut up long enough to realize, because you're too busy asking, where's the goddamn dessert table? That they were trying to tell you the whole time, but you wouldn't stop hollering about you can't find it long enough for them to tell you. Pull her belly up. So now I've got a down feel here while I ask her to pick her belly up and pick her whole body up. There you go. Just get there. Just get there. You don't have to hold that trot, just get there. Okay. So on the first day, in this amount of time, she was already like less than what we did, just getting her to realize she could put her head down when I threw the thing around. Eyes rolling up in her head, yawning and doing, which for a horse, when they start to yawn and do that, coming off with the adrenaline. So it's like right away, she's realized, she's like, seriously, this is it? Get to stand around in the round pen and put our heads down when you shake that flag around? God, this is great. Okay? And so every day, and the horse ducks out from underneath you, and you're like,
Been there.
nope, we're not doing that. I had a big, wide open door for you to go forward. Okay? And I know I did because I was so far behind her. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that's how she felt. This is that part where helping her recognize and changing the way she feels. She needs to feel like she has room to go. She doesn't feel that that's open yet. So I'm just going to keep setting that up till she realizes that it really is. you can see how there's all this about it. This is why it's slow right now. Like this is, yesterday was the first day we did canter. Okay. Talk about losing the hind lead. Some of that can be strength and conditioning. For this horse, it's because she's not staying synchronized with the front to the back. Nose, neck, shoulder worked, and it held, but it couldn't hold and keep turning. That's why we lost the ribs in the hip. Okay, the ribs in the hip was like, it's like if you asked me to come with you, and but drag my feet. That's what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's dragging her feet. I got the nose, neck, and shoulder to start to go. But she wasn't able to keep it going. So I don't make a thing about it. She's telling me how to understand what's going on with her by how she lost it. She'll start to hold that the more committed she is to actually cantering. She's not that committed to it, so it didn't hold itself together.
Is it a balance issue? Like she's not balanced enough?
That's part of it. So I'm not gonna make her wrong for turning in there. I'm just gonna go in the way of her nose while I open up that space and reset back up.